Let's look at this question here, which was taken from one of the school tutorial. I believe this is ACJC tutorial. So the region R is bounded by the y-axis, the y equals to sine x, and the cosine curve for 0 to 45 degrees. All right, pi over 4. So I think the first thing is to obviously just sketch in a GC first and decide where is the region R. So from here, what we have is we need a sine curve, sine x, and then cosine x. So I'm going to write cosine x here. Okay, then we'll graph it. So obviously there are so many things going on, right? So I'm just gonna obviously we need from 0 to pi over 4. So I'm gonna probably just go put pi over 4 here. Maybe 0 to pi over 2. Okay. Then my y mean I'm gonna put -2 and 2 here because it's too much underutilized space. So this is the region I'm looking at. I could just put as my y mean, probably put like -1, I believe. This is the graph I'm looking at. So from here, we try to understand what's going on. So this is the one that starts from 0. This will be y equals to sine x, right? The graph. Then this graph here is our cosine x, y equals to cosine x. We know that both of them would equal to each other when x equals to pi over 4. So now an issue here, this will be pi over 4 here. Okay, pi over 4, this is 1 over root 2. We know that. Okay, but we don't need exact, so it's fine. Okay, all we were told that is actually what we need is the curve y sine x here, then cosine x here, and bounded by the y-axis. So this is our region R. You have to know which is your region R. Then what we need is actually just this guy will be, this is 1 over root 2, obviously this is 1 over root 2. Okay, if you can't, you can actually put like 0, you just use GC and find the intercept without using the exact value. Then this guy will be 1. We know this is 1. Right, you can also check using a GC, not an issue. So usually what I tell students to do is to visualize how this will look like, right, in the three dimension. Also, if you rotate this about x-axis, could you see that it looks something like that? Okay, something like that. So you just need to rotate this about the x-axis. Yeah. Okay, this is how it look like. Okay, now understand that sometimes students get a misconception that you could actually control the area that you want, but you can't. Okay, you always project the area down, like in secondary school. Also for the top, then after which you minus the bottom here. Then okay, so for this curve on top, when you project to the x-axis, you'll get the entire thing like that. Okay, then same thing for the one below. What happens is you take this guy, you just minus off this guy here. So the required volume will be this. This is the required volume, right? The one that we just plotted out just now, something like that. Okay, as you can see, it's like some turbine engine here, which is pretty cool. Okay, we'll turn off the edges for you to see. So it looks something like that. Okay, we will put it in the X-ray mode. Then you can have a look. X-ray. Okay, so it's something like that. So just understand that from this case here, we can't control what we project. So we're going to take the entire thing here, project to, and then minus off the x-axis here. Minus off the one inside. That's what we have to do. So there's no fixed formula for volume revolve about the x or y axis. You really have to visualize it. If not, you have a hard time doing these kind of questions. If you have a problem, you just go to a HTML question bank. Just look through some of the, like we have many questions, like hundreds over questions on volume, which I covered in detail, and model things out for students to actually solve them. Okay, so for the first one is pi y squared dx. It's always y squared dx. So usually I'll tell students to label it. This is y1 and this is y2. So I'm going to take subscript y1 square dx for this entire thing from 0 to pi over 4, minus off from pi 0 to pi over 4 y2 square dx. Okay, so this area here is this guy. So this volume here is this guy, and this volume here is this guy. So because they didn't ask for exact, we can just key in calculator. So key in calculator would be, if I were to key in, you go math number 9. Oh, so I'm going to put the pi there first, math 9, then I'm going to key in calculator here. So the answer is 1.57 cubic units, right? So not an issue. So for the second one, if you rotate about the y-axis, you must be able to visualize how it looks like. So if I were to model this out for you, you could see that actually it looks like something like I'm not sure, like the spin, like those kind of toy, the spinner top like that, right? So this is how it looks like. Okay, understand that this guy here, maybe I should just turn on the edge. This guy here is bounded by two different curves here, two different boundaries. Okay, so if you look carefully, it looks something like that. You take the top, you add with the bottom. Okay, because this guy, like I said, you cannot control where you project, right? You take this curve, you project down, it will be from 1 over root 2 to that guy there. Then this, when you project to the y-axis, will be this guy here. Okay, so there's that. So the required volume. Same thing, I'm going to use x1 and y1 here, x2 here. So for the red color is x1, right? So it's pi is dy, so it's pi x1 square. So in this case, the boundary will be from 1 over root 2 to 1. Okay, so the starting point will be 1 over root 2 to 1. Then whereas for the one below there, we pi from 0 to 1 over root 2. You don't have to use the exact formula, but I'm using exact formula because, yeah, just to practice. Then this will be x2 square dy. So once you've done that, then you could just key in calculate for the inverse. So this will be x1 is actually cosine inverse y1. Then this x2 will just be sine inverse y2. Okay, then you just key in calculator, should be the answer. So understand that the boundary condition, they are not bounded at the same. This is different. There you go. So then just key in calculator, I think you will get the answer. Be slightly careful here. So we're gonna just use 1 over root 2. Then this is to 1. Then cosine inverse y, right? You can use y here, or you can use x, it doesn't matter. That will be square. This is y. Okay, then you put this as plus the bottom one. So be careful of the way you key in. Everything must be the same. So the answer is 0.696, right? Cubic units. Both are 3SF. So that's how I do this question here proficiently. See you in the next question.